guys and gals, Matt with Hat here, aka the Pastor's Son, and this is my Afterthought. Well, I just spent 2.5 hours in church. That's not including Sunday school, so if I were to add that in, that's probably maybe 3.5 hours, if I had to round up 4. That's pretty long for a church service, but I'll admit that because of the church that I attend is very lively, very, very lively. So, that time just flies by. But depending on various churches, I can understand why they would shorten their service. But to shorten it for 30 minutes, I think that's a bit too short. But, I can see an hour. I don't think that my particular church would actually be able to shorten their service to an hour. The closest we come to shortening a service would be 2 hours. I would say that's maybe the record time, but that does not happen often. But, I think that maybe an hour would be sufficient depending on the congregation. If the congregation actually gets something out of the service within that time frame, then by all means I can completely understand a service being shortened to that amount of time. But 30 minutes is way too short. Within my post, assuming that you've already read it, if you haven't, follow the link. It's actually talking about how short the services are and how churches are actually, the reason why some churches are actually doing that, because there's a lot of distractions and people get bored. But, if the church actually, speaks on a message that's very interesting or speaks with great vigor to actually get the congregation interested, then I don't think that they would mind a service being an hour or an hour and a half long. So that's my afterthought. If you haven't already, follow me on Twitter and be sure to check me out. Check out the link on Friday as it's updated. I'm actually talking about volunteering. With Thanksgiving coming up next week, I think that it's very important that each of us actually give back to the needy. So I'm mentioning a few of the volunteer services that are around, so be sure to check that out. And first and foremost, be blessed.